trained by the anti-welfare board to become master trainers. So I happen to be a master trainer for anti-welfare board, but I haven't had the time in the last 5 or 6 years after I became the chairman and CEO of Lynn D'Souza. I didn't have the time to devote to so much time. And in about 10 years back, I donated my ancestral property in Goa, part of it, to the cause, and built medical center money, and we built the shelters. And from that, we built the Goa SPCA. So we've been functioning for the last 10 years in our own small way. Sometimes we get funds from the government, sometimes we don't. Usually it's just me writing a check from my salary and sending it over, but that's okay. I mean, as long as it works. But we have been trained in all aspects of animal welfare. All of it has been covered, so I think we know pretty much quite a lot of the cause. I think I just have to hear now what each of you are. So I'm quite crazy. I mean, in advertising, in media, and business. I sit on several boards of companies, several non-profit companies. I chair several companies. So, we have a mix of all of that. Thank you.
I'm Jasmine, I'm associated with the Red Cross Society of Pune.
You're doing some great work, aren't you?
We're trying. That's it, we are together, but we're trying. So yeah, we do the ABC program and we do a lot of rescue work, we do a lot of rehomeless.
Where is the center in Pune?
The hospital is in Mumbai.
It's not far.
Should I say something about Avis?
Avis, yeah. I'm also from Kerala. I'm from her region, Trivandrum, and I know how she's struggling to do the ABC program because she's dealing with the worst state government in India, which is the Kerala government, and she's struggling to get the ABC going. Municipality hardly come picks up all her sterilized dogs. I mean, a lot of her sterilized dogs, but she is fighting alone that.
Yeah, so you have a lot to. You can use the media to kill the politicians there. Malayalam, Manorama,
Great hope crisis, the ombudsman has sent letters out to all the municipalities and landlords to do their ABC program. No one has taken a bit of notice, and they are still doing. We make as much awareness as possible today, but the actual papers in today, the media is carried by carers of Kerala is typically informed by an anti-animal press.
We cover that a bit. It's really not different, I think, anywhere, but then you have to make the change slowly. But let me see if I can give you some tips for at least the Kerala.
Well, they have never been, they don't want to.
And it's the most liberal state, the most media covered state. So it's the most liberal state in India, and the most media covered state, and the media is extremely powerful. So there are three groups: Malayalam, Manorama, Matrimony, to some extent, at least for the film.
I wrote a letter to the Hindu, and they changed that letter I wrote to something completely different.
They may write a story, but if you're going to, I give you a few names and put you in touch with some people. Jacob Matthew owns the Malayalam. And if you were in touch with the nation, I'll have come with that.
Shama sir, I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I work for the government of Delhi and I'm also associated with PAS.
The narration. Very nice. Glad to see you here. Nilesh is doing a lovely job. I know you, Sandra.
Hi, my name is Sandra. I have also been doing a couple of jobs over the years, but all related somehow to advertising media and handphones. And some time back, I took a break from everything that I was doing, working basically, and I went back to the Film and Television Institute of India to do a 3-year course in film editing, which I completed in 2009, but then I also worked on other projects. And about 2 years ago, I came in contact with a dog. I kind of rescued her, and the love affair with the dogs began over there. And today I'm over here, and I somehow want to take what I got, basically my talent, my creativity, and use that, synergize it with animal welfare. And as I've been through yesterday and today, more and more it's becoming a little clearer that I have to integrate the two and possibly create small messages, small films for the case of our voiceless friends. And that's what I would like to do.
Every school, every kindergarten should have.
Thank you, Sandra. What about you?
Hi everyone, my name is Arvind Bhatta. I am from Bangalore, and by profession I am a computer networking trainer. I am into annual welfare for
As a volunteer.
as a volunteer. I work for Great Indian Organization Association. It's one group having big plans in life.
Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Mansi Jessa. I'm a dentist by profession. But along with Arvind and a few of my other friends, we formed a group called the Creating Project Association, where our main focus is to brand union law and change the way it is perceived in our society. So that's where I come from.
That's very nice. You need the help of, I'll come to you branding the Indian dog. Amla, forget you. But you must introduce yourself.
Blue Cross, I'm the founder of Blue Cross in Hyderabad. I think I rescued my first animal when I was 6, but Blue Cross in Hyderabad is 20 years old. And I'm an actress by profession.
And I remember when you trained us in Delhi, also you talked about rescuing a kid that big.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. Story you told us.
She was the sweetest. She lived with us for 6 years. And funnily, ever since, every kid we rescued has been good.
Before I come to you,
Oh, yeah.
what a taxi.
My name is Jagdish Aisha. I just returned to India last week. I've been out of the last 2 years. I was in the US and Canada. And I'm a dentist.
Oh gosh, he's the guy you always deal with.
Specialty is international currently, it's anywhere. So,
Right.
nothing really law so far. But I did write an article about here last year. Something with corporate takeover of corporate bonds in the world. So it appeared in a newspaper. We
So
also.
you're a freelancer.
Oh,
I thought you said you were a scientist.
oh no, I put the question mark to that gentleman because he is from science background. You need something very nice.
Anyway, that's nice. You got such an eclectic mix.
Yeah, very nice.
Hi everyone, I am Sudhar Mudalgi from Belgaum. And
I was there when I was 1 year old. So 1 year old. What's your name?
Sudhar, yeah, and I am a philosopher right now. And I'm a Jain philosopher.
You're a Jain.
Jain philosopher. And I run an organization named PAL, People for Animal Liberation, from last 3 years for animal rights.
Where are you based?
Belgaum.
You're still in there.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Johnny and I'm representing JBF and we are running one mobile cattle clinic in Delhi and one ABC program in Guwahati, Assam.
So I am Arvind Sharma. I am a veterinarian and I work for the state government of Madhya Pradesh and I am based in Kangra Valley.
I wish I had written this down. I don't think we've repeated any profession in this room. We've got vets and journalists and philosophers and just people, filmmakers and okay, last row. I'm doing this exercise deliberately, so bear with me. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Anupama. I'm an individual activist. Since my childhood, I've been actually into the animal rescues and all because I've been seeing my grandparents and my uncles doing the same. And they believe in coexistence. So that's how I'm into it since my childhood. But recently, from the past 5 years, I've just taken one area and I've concentrated on that. So I've been helping the animals because we do not have any NGO over there. So I've been just working of my own, trying to rescue some of the dogs and helping the accident cases. And also trying to be friendly with the stray dogs of several areas, keeping account of them and getting them sterilized one after the other. So that's what I'm doing.
Second, right?
from coastal Karnataka. I started Indian Vegan Society in 2004. I'm working there.
You started that, yes. Isn't that linked with Satya Sai Baba in some
No,
way?
it is different. And I am also a coordinator for International Vegetarian Union headquartered in England.
International?
Vegetarian Union. Vegetarian means vegan only.
Yeah, I've
But
seen some stuff on the net.
we still use the word vegetarian, but it is vegan in all its activities. Started in 1908.
I think you gave a certificate of approval of some kind to a toothpaste, Anchor toothpaste. They
No,
said
that is
they're
Vegetarian Society.
toothpaste.
Vegetarian Society is another organization in England.
Vegetarian Society.
Started in 1846. They give approval.
Hi.
I'm a controversial girl.
Sorry?
She's the controversial
Oh
girl.
God.
I have labels for each of you. I'm watching you over the photo guest list.
I just asked questions.
What am I
I
going
only
to
ask
say?
questions. So I'm Nirupama Sharma, and I used to be a journalist 20 years ago with the Times of India in Bombay, a print journalist, and subsequently switched tracks because I really wanted to change the world, my own sort of naivete, and got more into development and health communication. So since then I've been, about 20 years, I've worked on several large campaigns, all of them social or health issues. I worked on HIV/AIDS for about 10 years. A lot of the TV campaigns that you see, radio, things that you see in the media around HIV, I've, been part of that. And so I've worked on HIV, I've worked on maternal mortality, immunization, a whole bunch of issues.
So you know how to do campaigns.
That's right. And also the evaluation and, the whole sort of shebang.
I'm sitting down on your side.
So anyway, so 2 years ago, I really wanted to transfer these skills into this field. I've always been passionate about animals, about the ethics of how we treat animals. And so I've been sort of engaging with FIACO over the last 2 years in some way or the other. And that's about it.
Hi everyone, I'm Abhishek from Angel Eyes Animal Welfare Foundation.
Which one?
Angel Eyes Animal Welfare. Yeah. We started from foundation in Delhi when we were in college. We used to meet as a group. We used to take students to Sanjay Gandhi Animal Care Shelter and we used to make them see the practical side what animals are facing, what are the problems animals are having. So we are basically into aware consideration. What we doing, I'm basically taking care of the same channel. We're working on schools, we are making them sensitize more issues with gender in particular, like origin is very big issue in gender. So we go present in schools, take students to shelters like Milky Suffering and their other shelters as well. So this is presently what we do.
Hi, I'm Ritu Arora. The name you just took, Health and Suffering. I work for that NGO based in Jaipur. And I was in the corporate world since the past 8 years, and it's just been 6 months I've been associated with Health and Suffering. So I do voluntary work regarding the fundraising, the ideas, and also no, not the campaigning part of it. We are not into that because we have a shelter, we have a dispensary, and we have a ABC, one of the best in India, the ABC program by Dr. Jack Pease. So 99% Jaipur is rabies free now. And I also help in the product merchandise that we have of Health and Suffering and add on to the products that we can sell, and all the proceeds go to the shelf.
I'm Vijay, I'm a Mumbai-based.
He's come as a spy.
I write on animal rights issues and also other general issues.
He is doing such everything. I'll come to that. He's going to get an award. Can I say it? He's going to get an award.
Yes.
Yeah, we are having often.
Walk in, walk out, say your piece.
Very sorry. We had one part of this, but it has to be.
Most of the beautiful rescue stories covered by Vijay in Mumbai and
Okay, so in that 20 minutes that we spent, each of you introduced each other. reason that I wanted you guys to, introduce yourselves, and even though it will take 20 minutes and some of you took a little time to explain who you are and what you're doing and what you say, and some of you heard the others and maybe you learned something you didn't know. You just got to know another person. You realize that I did that we have all come from different backgrounds. We're all united with one cause. And there's something very powerful in this room, just with you all and 20 of us. We are all media. Each human being, each person, our speech, our eyes, we are all media. And we have the power to communicate, which is what we're going to be talking about. We work with our hands. Some of us are vets, some of us are shelter people, some of us do ABC and so on. But ultimately, when we say we have to deal with the media, which is the Times of India and the TV channels and everything, I'm going to try by the end of this session and bring it all down to looking at each of ourselves as media. Because the world has changed, the world of media has changed so much that is the direction that I'm going to take this on. And there was a reason I connected each of you, and hopefully through the end of the session, you will pick that up. So what I did was they gave me two sessions. One was leading with the media, which is very close like them, and any other journalists in the room, next them. And the other was how to write or communicate the message. But it's difficult to separate the two because they are quite interlinked, and as I explain and go through, I prefer that the two work of mine into one session because I was going to do it twice, but then there's a endoscopy thing happened. I don't like to do that instead. But I'm happy to come and speak to anyone. So there are two aspects about our cause, which is this cause that unites all of us and animal welfare. Unlike many other causes, and if you're working with the plight of children, destitutes, orphans, typically you tend to have only positive messaging needed. Yeah? So there's awareness building. Many of you spoke and said we are into education, we're into awareness. Some of you are actually hands-on, but many of you are just there to spread the story, the good news and so on. In positive messaging, a very important part of positive messaging is fundraising. You need money to do what it is you're doing. So how do you get funds? And the third is I heard some of you say this, being involved in the community. Getting the community to be involved in what you're doing. In our case, in our cause, mostly it would be getting our puppies adopted. That's where the community comes in. Getting the police to cooperate with us when we need, FIRs filed and so on. Getting governments and all of that to support and legislate when needed. That's all the community work. This, for most causes, is the area that is covered. In our case, we also have the additional added job of, like what Travis was saying, of countering the negativism. And not just negativism in society, because animals can't speak for themselves, so people will attribute all kinds of stuff. That fellow bit me, program wouldn't have been told so. But we made it bad. So the cause itself, there are very, very powerful anti-animal lobbies in our country. And they cover all aspects of animal welfare. Whether it's the stray dog situation, whether it's the wildlife situation, whether it's the food situation, there are very powerful anti-lobbies. The milk lobby is a huge lobby, and if they want to reach 50% growth in the next 3 or 4 years, where is it? It's going to be done. These are really the builders' lobbies are heavily against the environment. And these are guys with money. I mean, they're after my shelter because they build properties and they want to obviously shut us down. So that's how it is. Very wasteful and no hungry. And the next one is, of course, even gender apathy. You see a baby without a home or without a mother, and everyone loves another baby. But people don't necessarily like animals, or they just don't care. So that's another thing we needed to build. So it's a big job. Awareness and all these PETA or no PFA or no, things would have been much worse. But because the animal welfare movement all over the world has gained so much momentum, and probably PETA, though they have used a very controversial style, have created a lot of awareness around it. In fact, we are in a better position. I feel, I'm sure you feel, 10 years today from where we were 10 years ago, there's maybe more awareness. There is, whether it's good creating and helping our animals, are we able to raise funds? Yes, of course we are. I was telling in the morning, like I said, we did this exercise about, I think 8 years back, the amount of space devoted into all the publications to animal welfare or any animal stories was 2% of columns and papers. And hardly, I think 2011, it was up to 12%. Would you believe it? Even if you take, like you include even NDTV Good Times has a little show on TV and so on. If Amir did in Satyameva Jayate, if he did an animal story, he did. He did do one. But maybe the next time around you can get it to do one. You get that kind of traction and it's there. I mean, Vijay writes probably every day in the Times of India in Bombay. And in the Mirror, there is an animal story. Believe it or not, and it's a good story. And the reason I'm saying that is because I do know of other centers in India where, like yours, where there are competitors to the Times who write bad things. But if you have a group and the Times are owned by Jains and they're, Mrs. Jain herself is so much into all of this that they are helping the cause. Very powerful group, 5,000 crore group. So good for us. So that's just a thing. So just to give you a little bit of figures and facts, to get what is the state of media in our country? All of you, before you get distracted with those numbers, all of you are exposed to media. Do you know how many hours a day on average you are exposed to media? 2.1. You are. It's 2.1. The Indian average. The Indian is exposed, an average Indian is 2.1 hours of the day. Something. You get in the morning, you read the newspaper, or you listen to the radio, or you go home in the evening, 1 hour of television, 2 hours of TV, where you're outdoors, you're in the outdoors, and of course now, I don't know if all of you, but you must be internet and mobile phone. That's a high amount of your time. 2.1 is only growing. Yeah? So, these are the forms of media that there are. There's print, the newspapers and magazine, there's television, which includes cable and digital and all that. This is cable and satellite, so you know that figure. There's radio, which is FM and AR. There's cinema, when you go to the theaters, and there's the internet. Now, if you see, ignore these figures because these are millions, but basically the growth is important because it gives you a trend, and that's what I would like you to leave this room with at the end. Literacy is growing at 3.6% in India, which is good. There are other countries in the world where they've reached maximum. Therefore, all media as a whole are growing by about 3%. Print is only growing at 3%. And so, if you're worried about what my friend Vijay Singh is going to say in the Times of India, after 2 years, you're going to be worried about what I say about you on my blog. It's like that. The print media is declining. Television is still, of course, very powerful, growing at 6.8%. Cable and satellite, which is your digital and all of that, 15.8%, and that's something. And that's where you come in, the broadcast media, because they bring things to life. You have shows which show the animals being loved. Heavy Petting is a lovely show, and each of you should get featured on Heavy Petting at some point. Find a way. And something just did. You just did, yeah. Cinema, the radio is sort of down, and the medium of the future, literally, this is 42% growth. Internet. And if you're not connected, and if you're not on the internet today, spending at least half an hour of your time, believe me, you are losing out on your life, you're losing out on your ability to help animals, anything. You cannot be a citizen of the world today if you are not on the internet. This man is like he's got 5,000 followers on Facebook. It's
closed now.
You closed, yeah. The limit is gone. Now you can get subscribers. Cable and satellite.
I wanted to say two things. Actually, media management, if you take an injured animal picture and put it on Facebook, and somebody from media calls me, oh Nilesh, we wanted to make a story on this. Can you more elaborate? Then send the high resolution pic and give them a story. They will write about them.
I will come to how to use the social media. Yesterday, did you all attend Shirani's session? Yes. Shirani Pereira. So she said, she ended her session. She's very clever. She used a beagle at the start and she used a beagle at the end. And she ended her session saying that there are 28 beagles who have been rescued and are looking for home. And I was just sitting there and I tweeted that. And I also Facebooked it. And literally within half an hour, I mean, people just started sending and sending and sending and sending. It was just, how many people must have been tweeted, Facebook, went on for everybody. And I started getting the calls. And Shirani gave me a special number and I gave it to her. And they started calling her. And I think she's Facebooking it as a game. So if you see that it's real, you use the media and it can happen.
One more example. I wanted to buy an ambulance for 3 lakhs. I had 2.5 lakh when my donor gave it, and 50,000 I had to wait. So I just put up a line on Facebook, the status, can anybody help me with raising funds? 1,000, say 2,000 from my end. And then money started flowing. Within 2 days we raised lakh rupees and I did extra for my staff salary also. And then I joined everyone. Within a week's time I raised 1 lakh rupees on Facebook. So half an hour is must.
Half an hour is must, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's so simple. Which is why you are the media. In this little right? So, I'm sorry. I don't know why this is happening. You can make that go in. Just of 2011, it grew 42%. I didn't have the latest, I was agreeing this last time, but again another 42%. So this medium is going to be as big and as powerful as it is in your hands.
This is just a point to note. I think it's important to say that this is for a certain socio-economic bracket. This data.
No. This, okay, let me tell you. This is the largest leadership study in the world. I am the chairman of the Leadership Studies Council of India, which produces the IRS, which is the largest leadership study in the world, which measures all media. It covers all India, it covers urban and rural, and it covers 12 plus. So this excludes children. So this is nothing to do with some socio-economic. This is everybody. You go into
millions or lakhs?
We survey 250,000 people every month. 250,000.
So those figures
these are in 623 million. Okay, 620 crores. That's how I did.
6 million, 42 lakhs.
Yeah. 20,000 after that. So this is very, very large. I mean, this study, it's like all the publishers and the TV channels and all the advertisers and all the agencies, everybody buy this and it's our Bible for us to actually spend. We spend, the total advertising industry is 20,000 crores and media industry is 35,000 crores. So 55,000 crores is dependent on this study. And I have to tell you, I actually should have bodyguards because the media want to, the numbers that come out every quarter, if they don't show up well, then I get calls and I threw them out of the body actually at one time because they were trying to fit in with
Then are you saying that internet has permeated all over?
All over, it's going down. I'll show you the next slide, which is the reach of media. Now coming to yours, this is a study done by Lynn D'Souza. We do it every year, which is in the metros. So the brown line is the metros, and in what we call tier 2 markets, and we selected these tier 2, which is Jaipur, Jalandhar, Kolhapur, Indore, Kochi, Allahabad, Kanpur, Bhubaneswar, Guwahati. So that's the million. And here, look at this. Television is 100% reach in these markets. Radio is about there. Newspapers is now less. That's magazines. Out of home, of course, everybody has. Cinema is good. There's direct mailers, which is low. Events are good. Events have a high reach, particularly typically in small towns. In Jaipur, something in Jaipur, Belgaum, if you do an event, and you can type in the newspaper to an event, it's good. Look at, this is internet as in PC internet, and this is mobile internet. Yeah? So, yes, Nokia produces, we handled my first Nokia, a 2000 rupee phone, which is a smartphone. And we sell that Yasha in small towns. Who's my driver? Every driver in Bombay has a mobile phone. They're all calling out their homes in their ground, and they all have mobile phones. And they can download simple messages. I mean, we send them agricultural messages and so on. You know, we live in the world thinking others are not connected. We are connected. They are connected. See, internet or mobile would be a subset, but it's growing. It's like last month to this month it would have shot up. It's because of the availability of your cheap phones. You now have Reliance producing an iPad, an Indian iPad for 13,000. You can buy it on higher purchase. You know, the penetration, children in Bombay schools, children have iPads. They're allowed to bring them into school. So that those are the young people you want to talk to. You're never going to convert that Chief Minister of Kerala. But the Chief Minister of Kerala's grandchild will be converted and will read and talk about it and see it on Facebook or on Twitter and will tell him and go when he goes. They will use these other means. And will use the young people and use and that. I'll tell you why this is why is the internet used and why people going towards it. There's a difference between the metros, the big cities where we already have the net and we use this as PCs and now we're getting into the mobile space. You know, there are three spaces, what we call the three screens. The traditional screen is the PC screen or the laptop. The second screen which we are now all using is the mobile. And the third is your television screen. And that, by next year, this television screen that people can, you know, be surfing and they're doing that plus they're watching TV, switching, can you imagine? You already have televisions with those capabilities and you have that server. That will change. Won't bother about the newspaper. So in the metros, you'll see this brown color. No, you will have to be on e-paper. You know that. You know, I met this guy, your what's his name? Satyan. He is running an internet hub and he's been given the whole project of converting the whole group into the digital space. Yeah. So you have metros, you will find they go to the net because it helps you feel good, a little bit escape, helps you feel connected. Now it's trying to make you feel a little connected here, but makes you feel connected. That's the social media. Helps me to expand my knowledge, my lifestyle, and help me improve my quality of life. And when you get to the smaller towns, where some of you are from, this is even more important. It helps me to learn and expand my knowledge, which is a search. You know, they do a lot of Google. So the cities are still more of social, and then
ask you a question. This is talking about the news and newspaper versus newspapers. While the e-news is good for say spot news, do people sit and read the entire newspaper on the net? It's like you have opinions, edits, you have views, you have open pages in a newspaper, which is not possible to read on the net.
No, what you do, see, it's like, it's a very different habit. That's why I would encourage each of you, after you go from here, I mean, you want to help others, you must do this. You get yourself a good active Facebook account, tweet, get yourself a Twitter handle, two things. Just these two, to begin with just Facebook, Twitter, and perhaps YouTube, at least for a certain YouTube. And start choosing the kind of media you want to download and read. And you'll get your feeds. And you'll understand how you get information from the net. So if I take my Twitter feed, for example, I get firstpost.in and I get every 10 minutes a news story. And it just keeps feeding. So I'm sitting in the thing and I'm reading that. And I choose what I want to read more about. So if I like something and I read a story, I'll go into it and I'll read it more. Unlike a newspaper where it's all there and I may choose or not choose, and it's a big thing. Here, I mean, it's coming as per who I am, because the internet has all the data on me. It knows I love animals, it knows I'm bored today, it knows I do media, it knows I have whatever I do, and it feeds me those stories. So there may be a story from Times which will come to me, or there may be a story from Hindu, or there may be a story that he's written which will come to me, and I follow it, and I choose it. So you choose one, because that's the way the internet works. No, I mean, you get yourself a Twitter handle, it just knows. Because as you keep engaging for about half or more, it sees your behavior. What are you doing all the time? And I was in San Francisco earlier this month with Facebook, Twitter, and Google, and all these fellows. There were these giant server rooms and all that. But it's this huge back-end engineering which enables them to, and that's the part. You know exactly who's the guy who's thinking good about animals, telling this story. Who's the guy who's not thinking good about animals, telling this story. It's a Twitter handle versus a Twitter account. It's the same. It's the same.
Then one more question. Like with Twitter, I'm always wondering, like, if I'm going to just say that, okay, this is a way to or whatever, and who's going to listen to the story of mine? Like,
your followers. Your followers. So I'll explain how that you are. I'll put an end on, or maybe I should just switch it off now because we are with my connection over. Okay, so this is the new construct. Therefore, when we say media, we now have a new way of defining media. Earlier, like I showed you, it was television, radio, cinema, and that's how you know it, and newspapers. And all these are media that are put out. So Times of India puts out something. He publishes. He'll write, editor publishes. Radio, some jockey saying something or something. Whereas that is what we call paid media. It's under the term. So as an advertiser, my agency spends 3,000 crores of rupees a year to pay to get our ads in the media. And we make another big amount to produce those ads. That's all paid. So that is what print, television, radio, media, cinema, outdoor banners, paid. And what do we do? By using paid media, we make an ad, we put it in the Times, and it goes out to people we don't know. They're all strangers. And it just goes out. If you're interested, you see it. If you're not, you don't. It just goes out. Then from there, there's a gradual shift into owned media, which is something that you, when you make your brochures, you make your, you all have that brochures which you do, or you have, if you're a manufacturing company, you have your packs, your soap carton or your biscuit carton or whatever, your website, you have a microsite, your fan page. Those are what we call where you say what you want to say in a little bit more of a dialogue. It's not in the Times of India's context, it's in your own context, it's your own website, and that's for own media, so you have more control and you kind of engage with your customers or your patients or whoever. But life is moving so fast, you don't realize it, but it's happened in the West. Television, etc. are taken over by the earned media. And that's what you've got to do, which is get yourself earned media. We call this the POEM model, P-O-E-M. And all of us in advertising, we're saying, who's going to watch advertising anymore? Did any of you go for Jab Tak Hai Kaam? What was the Jab Tak Hai Jab? Sorry, Jab Tak Hai Jab. I believe the whole movie was nothing but ads, branded. You know how the brands keep coming in? Embedded. That's called owned actually. You're paying for it, but it's in the owned space. So, you don't have an opportunity to just be in advertising anymore because you may put out something, but other people will say what they like. So, earned media is what Dinesh did. What did he do? He put one photo. And from that photo, such a lot happened. He earned all of that. That's what. And who was the medium? Dinesh himself. yesterday. If I can help Shirani get those 3 dogs home without spending a rupee, but just by tweeting, and I've connected with 100 people, not only have those 3 dogs gotten home, but 100 people have realized that vegans are being used for experiments and that they shouldn't be, and that there's a lady called Shirani who is rescuing them. All of that in 8 words. 8 free words. No payment, no nothing. What did you tweet with? What did you write? What did I tweet? I showed to you. I just said, please.
Just the way to frame your text.
I just said, please give a 28 vegans rescued yesterday looking for loving homes. Contact Shirani at 9702. Yeah. So that's word of mouth. It's the most powerful thing. Each of you in this room have a mouth. You don't use your mouth. You have the pen. You have the power of the pen. You don't use the pen that you have, which is my favorite, the mouse. We all have mouse. Very, very nice. And this, the big difference, big difference between this and this is this. These people, whoever follow you on Twitter or Facebook, are called fans. That's the expression it's given. You don't call them customers or viewers or readers, you call them fans, because that's what they are. Social media is so connected, it's so interactive, and you get so, everybody feels that they know you even if they don't. I have followers, but I don't know shit who they are. Sorry, I do. But, that's how it is. And a long lost friend like you. So, it's okay, maybe you're my Facebook friend. But they become fans. Yeah. When you're a fan of something, you want to do something for that person. So the people who retweeted about my videos yesterday, I don't know them. But it's not something you can get to do in a newspaper. Friend. Yeah. Friend is friendship. Yeah. Friendship. Yeah. Actually, fan is celebrity. But in advertising, you use the word fan.
I think for Facebook page, then it's fan. They say individual page. I think it's a page.
So fan is a page. It is friends, and it's a lovely input. And every time I'm doing this for a non-profit, I will say a friend. But if it's a brand, I will say a fan, because brands like to have fans. They don't like to have friends.
I think we should use followers.
Followers also. Followers are people who follow our page. And they may or may not, they just maybe stalking you. Yes. So there, I've gone through this. Just a few things on, forget all that, because this is small. The benefit of paid media is on demand, it's immediate, scale, you want millions of people to read your message overnight, you get that, but you have to pay a lot of money. Whereas in earned media, it's very credible, and I'll come to that, increasing role, transparent, cost effective. Every time I do this for a non-profit, it's basically, I've been telling non-profits for the last 3 years, when social media was just picking up, go after these because it's free. Everything else, you got to print, you got to pay, you got to do something. Just get onto these, get yourself a fan following and move. The key word is earned media. So you go away from here with understanding one term, earned media. How are you going to earn some media? And it's basically about the literality that money can't buy. It's free. So I'll read out every word of this. It means that your cause is presented in broadcasted shows. For example, in Peak Again after Saturday, as well as newspaper editorials and DJ mentions. Because someone like Vijay believes in the cause and somebody has worked on it. Curly Khanna has worked on it in full, and he is therefore writing well. Thanks to the outburst of internet, earned media now includes electronic word of mouth and free third-party coverage for your cause is the promotional. Here is a statistic that I read in June this year. lot of time, you know. At least if you download it on your phone and do it while you're in the car or you're doing nothing, it's not a lot. Now, some stats which were done by measuring 44 non-profits earlier this year. See, Facebook and all are also encouraging non-profits. They attract 31,000 fan page Facebook members. That means if you get into and you create a good Facebook account, you should be able to have 31,000 fans or friends. So Dinesh is at 5 at the moment. He's still, but he gets a few subscribers and he creates a lot of likes. I don't know whether you have likes yet. I mean, likes, for example, Lady Gaga has 5 billion likes. So the likes also come under that. But that's where you're communicating your message all the time. Very 103 users per 1,000 email subscribers. This is very important. This one statistic blew my mind. In 1 year alone, the average growth rate for non-profit page audiences is 70%. That means non-profits are using Facebook. Like anything. Huge number of non-profits are using Facebook. And that's 70%. And among that, wildlife and animal groups have the strongest growth rate. After this, human rights and Africa, poverty and devastation and Katrina and all that, Sandy, Fanny and all, coming after that. Sorry, I will never be able to I'm just saying, wildlife and animal groups on Facebook, the kind of response they're getting, they wouldn't be there. Why aren't you there? We are. Some of you are there. Yeah. I see vegetarians. Oh, all kinds of things. Just simple, from finding a dog a home to legislation. To enabling. Do you know that the Egypt government came down? You know that through Facebook, through tweets and through Facebook. When we had 26/11 in Bombay, a year later we had a candlelight thing at the Gateway of India. We did nothing. We just did nothing. We just put an invite out on Facebook. Hey, come to Gateway of India. And you know how many people came? Only because of Facebook. That was in 2011. More than a lakh. For what? For the candlelight. You know, because 26/11 people died. So the first year anniversary, the 1 year after 26/11, we just did this. And we had a candlelight.
But the key is to possibly get as many friends as possible. Or doesn't it go from one place to one friend?
No, you have to get your friends. No, once you get seen, you first make your friends. You get in there, invite all your friends, make your friends. Try and get to 200 friends. 200 friends is at least, and make an annual community meeting. That's one. Then the other thing is like. Go and like Peter's page. The first thing you go home today, go to Peter, like the page. Then what? Like PFA. Every time Peter puts up a post, it will come on your feed. When it comes on your feed, you comment. Your friends will see your comment. You share it. If you like, what do I do? Every day I get 3 Peter feeds, I share them. My 8,000 or whatever followers will see those. And I go like my PFA feed. So I get Peter, PFA, Cuba.
Keep liking.
Yeah, one day sit down and like 5 pages that you think are useful to you and like them. And then you keep on.
But also some, I think, I forget which groups. If you like them and they reach a certain number, somebody is going to donate X amount of money to them.
And
So you should really, you should do that kind of thing.
What is Twitter? How to get so many followers? How to get so many people?
Twitter is more difficult. And I would say Twitter is for way more advanced. Facebook uses a lot of pictures. And why is Facebook great? Because the animal welfare movement, if you use pictures and visuals, you know that. The more you use pictures and visuals, the more you spread your message. Because that animal is never going to speak and never going to write. But you have to show his picture of, you're not going to go to any politician and fight. You show that, but Facebook thrives on that. I mean, all these pictures of animals, pictures of YouTube also. it's fine on it. And then of course Facebook shares all the information.
So one thing I perceived over the time that I'm wrong. Yes, what you're saying about Facebook sharing and information sharing is excellent. But has it really substantially brought down animal cruelty legislation? I mean, as much, never before is a live animal export happening from Australia to Europe. Yeah, it's happening for the first time. The escalation of animal cruelty, the escalation of production of animals is increased exponentially, but at the same time, the awareness sharing is going on. But after that, there will be the threat change.
Yes. I think you must believe the joy. Yes. You must be optimistic. If you're going to sit down and feel that you cannot make a difference.
Can I just share my experience?
Yeah. Because I feel that even if, I could be sitting and making this talk, somebody of my stature, I charge a bomb to talk. I could be talking to 5,000 people in this address, but I choose to be in a room here and talk to 30 people because I believe I'm making a difference. And I'm talking to the right people who care and who will do something. You have to believe, however small. If you have one friend on Facebook and he makes a difference, that's good for the cause. Legislation never happens. You have to do your little small stuff.
But I think it's very important. Please ask a valid question. But Rukmini, you must realize a lot of the petitions that go up and people share and sign and everything, once they reach a certain number, those petitions are presented to policymakers and they share that information that this has been presented and therefore there has been a change.
Yes.
There has been a change.
Happening. Is there an impact? And I think there is. I mean, there is this whole case of the. It is. I'm pretty sure that I'll show you one or two cases.
I just want to add something to what she was saying. When I actually rescued a snake, and I put the photograph on the Facebook page saying that I rescued a snake, I was holding the snake. I had never gotten more than 5 comments on any of the pics. On that picture, I got 35 to 40 comments and 60 to 70 likes. And whenever I go, my friends know that what is that I'm doing. So they are talking about it in the group. Oh, acha, you doing that? Oh, acha, you going for animal awareness too. So everyone, it works. It definitely has worked to my opinion.
It works in a different
My
way.
general question, I wasn't trying to
See, what happens is the thing that you're affecting is, the first step, as I said, countering the lobbies. See, in as much what you're speaking about, what we and what social media, these are all for social media, enable us to do this as a community to make our voice heard. Because politicians are under so much pressure from newspaper lobbies and butchering lobbies and this lobby and that lobby that they are hearing that side and money. Money talks. They are bribed heavily. The butchers must be going and bribing them. Somebody bribing. We don't have the money. So we only have us. Yeah, we don't have the money. We have us, our voice. And sharing and making a noise. And just blasting the social media as much as we can. The more and more you do it, I mean, whatever, 50 years ago, that's what America did, huh? She wrote it she wrote nonsense also. But she wrote and made people
I still remember in the TV, the half an hour in school, I used to wait till Wednesday, she used to do a session and half an hour, it was like absolutely zapped. It was politicians need votes.
So, the more pressure we put on them, the more they listen. Now, Manohar Parekar, he got himself a Facebook page a year ago. And he invited. Within, I think, a week, he got himself 5,000 friends. All of us many and became friends. And then after that, his movement to actually, get back into power was through all of this. Because he's obviously a techie guy. He used social media so well. He used to post every day something or the other, when his little chuckles and other things. His birthday, people would wish him on Facebook. He was not posting, maybe somebody was making him in trouble also. Now I don't think he would. No, but some people can. Yeah. So some of the active India pages are the Theta page, which is very active, every 3 posts a day. You can share, you can learn, you can go to the link, but share. The important thing is one word in Facebook is share. Like you all share who you are today, you share with each other, just share. Keep sharing and sharing. You will. With these 30 people in the room, it just, the multiplicative effect is enormous of the internet. And pause, Nilesh, fantastic work. What Nilesh does is promote his cause and his organization. The first thing, he talks about what all they rescued and all strange birds and strange creatures you've never heard of, he will post. But that's a great thing. So because he does that, he gets fans. Because wow, he's doing so much of work. And in the cause also benefits. But what Peter does complete, they want volunteers now for the, I think for the vegan rescue only. They're giving the wrong advice. But on word of mouth, which is on social media, it's what you said, and your friends trust you because they know you or your life, then they believe you. And that's so powerful. Because when you're communicating, the most important thing is the truth. You can't fool people. It instills trust. And for non-profits, it helps establish a positive perception. Like you said, to make donations, volunteer, earn media fee, the two-way communication. People can communicate back with you. It's very important. There are no professional writers and communicators. I won't use my copywriters for this because you can't write like a copywriter. You've got to write like yourself. You've got to feel, you've got to be yourself, and that's, what's so sweet about you, Pablo, is you just show yourself. And that's what comes through, you're acting, you know how it is, and that's important. You've got to just be, you can't be like, just like, now you have languages. The thing about India, which China is ahead of us on internet because it's one language. Everybody is in that Chinese of theirs, Mandarin, and there's a handful there, but they don't have Facebook, they don't have Google, they banned all that, whereas we do. And we can Google in different languages. All the languages are available. We can Facebook all the languages are available. I think 4 are available. So we can communicate to people who are down there. If you're talking about socio-economic, you can communicate to people who are really out there and down there. All levels. So the two fundamentals when you're communicating, as I said, no professional writers, it's just you and me. And I don't need to teach you how to write or communicate, right? Because you know how to do that. That's why I said I dropped that session, because it's not about copywriting and film writing, and you're not going to be writing a script. Just shoot your little shot of a little animal you rescue, you go shoot it on your phone, make a film, post it on Facebook, that's good enough. You've got, all of you have little cameras on your phones, use them, shoot, post it immediately, 2 seconds, let it fly.
I was able to find a home for a German Shepherd dog who was in Bangalore. We shot it, I shot it, and I kept it in my house within 1.5 weeks. I found a home for it.
It's so instantaneous. That's a perfect. So there are 2 things. When you're ever putting out a story or putting your post or writing anything, write every day. 1 line you write every day. I drank milk today. Even I say it, I should have done that. Whatever. Right. People, it's very stupid. I can't go that many eggs. I'm vegetarian, but I am a vegetarian. 3 days I don't have eggs. That's okay. So the point is, where was I now? Yeah, you've got to do things whenever you're writing, be honest, be yourself, but whatever you do must have some newsworthiness in it and some social worthiness. The newsworthiness part was what I've got like 5 minutes. You people, you all talk more than me, it's tracking. Whatever, I'll go fast. You get finance, so you must be timely, socially significant, prominent. I mean, if you can get a celebrity and you get a celebrity to take off a blouse, better. Please give proximity. And a male celebrity. Okay? I give you one example here. Please give proximity.
That was an automatic reaction.
Yeah.
actually the only celebrity.
I want to just give you an idea. Very simple, very simple. You just open it. See, because you read leaflets, just the idea and the impact of an idea. Now, you know that there is a big thing at one time about animals being used in films and ads. Animals are entertainment. And at one time, 4-5 years back, people would not bother about animal welfare board of India. They didn't know about the rules. They didn't know there was such thing as rules. They would shoot, and when they come, they can't do anything. We have to put animal welfare board of India and all that stuff. But what I did, very simple targeted. This is what I want to explain to you. We have an event every year, the Advertising Agencies Association called Goa Fest, which we do in Goa. We have 3,000 people who come from advertising and marketing. Last year I chaired it, and this was about 4 years back. I just produced a one-page leaflet. The front page of it had one little dog running, said, "Don't shoot me," and don't shoot as in that shoot, right? And then the reverse of it had the performing animal rules. Yeah, all the rules. And then in the front also said, "This is what you do. You cannot shoot an animal without doing these things, without doing that." Targeted. All I did was all those fellows who came in that elegant gift, plus everywhere that they sat one leaflet, they were absolutely the targeted fellows who knew. Today I can guarantee you there's nobody who makes a film without first getting approval from Animal Welfare Board. And the amount of films, believe me, counted, featuring animals today is 16% of every commercial. Add up all the commercials that you see on air, 16% of them have an animal in it. 60. Once have an animal, but the animal is used properly, used humanely, not made fun of, permission is sought, no, pre and post has been taken care of, all that. Because my contention is if you don't use the animal also, you're not going to benefit because sometimes animals do give very positive values. Yeah, and it comes through.
The question can also be quite crazy, like in the mobile phone app.
The bug one, oh God, you just go away.
You have to make sure you go for the 20 minutes.
Bug was done by my friend Piyush Pandey, who is he was the chairman of Ogilvy, and he loves animals. He's got a house, he bought a house here, everybody he's built, and his wife Nikki used to work with us. She's now got 6 dogs. She's got German, she's got the dog with long hair, that Alaskan Malamute, she's got an air-conditioned room with glass and all for them. That's what they love dogs. They love animals, so they help us. When he did this part, he didn't realize how he was doing it. And that part, Chico used to come to us, SVCA, for treatment for the horrible condition. He didn't know, he just kept a huge dog and he used it. And the breeders took off everyone. And then a year later, I wrote an article in DNA saying, "Piyush, dear Piyush, what have you done? I mean, you are an advertiser, you write, you are responsible." And I challenged him at that time. I said, if you want to use a dog, use the Indian dog. Because all the values of heroism, fun, casualty, loyalty, naughtiness, everything is there in the Indian dog. Why don't you use the Indian dog? And he has it repeated. In the life boy ads, when we put the dog, acha hai. So, we project dog at the stray. We take me to the stray puppy. I have to get Medica's personal approval on that. Stray dog puppy, and then this little boy, he goes, he plays, and he comes, and he washes his hands, and then he washes the dog, and it's fine. So you see, it's how you use it. And it's stray dog. It was the first in one. You should have used the normal.
You said 16% has come down.
It's not more, sir. I mean, it's much more. Already the number of animals, the law says that they must be used in a certain place. We say use them, but you should probably use them. It's the free. You're saying the training and all.
No. What I'm coming to is whether how in subterfuge, without showing the animal per se. Recently I put it on Fiapo also. there was an ad by Woodlands, the shoe company.
So
It says, think pro planet, and it would have a big tree coming onto this wood. Oh God.
All the Woodland bodies are.
I think it's not done because leather is such a...
Please post. Please go to Woodland's page. Go to the Woodland's page on Facebook. It's fine.
No, but why did you accept it? Why did you accept to do it?
I don't see
what I'm saying is, like Linda, maybe it didn't go through you again, but there are many sort of ads that are being done which are not animal friendly.
I'm not talking about the.
And so how do you handle that?
How do you handle about the use of animal in a pet? Typically, we would use it non-animal, or you use a footage, you use computer graphics, stuff like that.
Incidentally, films are mostly digital.
It's digital, yeah. It's all digital, yeah. So even when I say 16% includes digital, it's not real, it's not short. Okay, the next one is social worthiness. Okay, social worthiness, well, every time, you know one thing I will say here? Yes? Okay, fine. So then, it's okay. Okay, I want to tell you something. There's a separate, only one, I just want to tell you that YouTube has something called a non-profit program. YouTube/non-profit. Just go to YouTube/non-profit. What's that? YouTube/non-profit. You go there, on that you create your own channel, start shooting on your phone. Small film, put it up, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, any nonsense. Create a channel. You can put a donate button. People can, you show one shelter, you show one, they can donate directly on that. You can brand your channel, you can do video animations, live streaming. Just download it and read it. That's what I want to tell you. Download these things for good and read it. Yeah? That's what I'm doing. This is a must site, social media for profit, for non-profits.org. You tweet, first get a Twitter account or go there and like their page for a Facebook or a Twitter. And every day they send you articles which are fantastic. What's your Facebook page? This is a website. Yeah, they do conferences like this one. Go there, like their Facebook page. Yeah, or their Twitter page. Extra, I want to tell you one more thing. That this requires artwork. Outdoor industry in India is doing very badly. And there are companies who are giving their sites free for non-profit. Yes, in Bombay. So if you have a nice thing like this is what we created for Welfare of Trade of years back. And we just put it up free. You know, and the guy gives us 3 weeks free. That's free. Yeah. This I don't